Hey everybody, and welcome to this special on the full moon on the 24th of February. So the full moon happens when the moon's in the 12th degree of Leo, and so yeah, I'm gonna just dive in and talk more about it. So the Leo full moon can be a time of increased emotions and self-expression. When we often say, oh, sometimes people go a bit more crazy, when the full moon's in Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius or Taurus, which are the fit signs, I do believe that, when people say full moons can make us all a bit crazy, then yeah. So this full moon energy encourages us to embrace our creative side and take pride in our talents, putting ourselves out there, but negatively it can make us need more external validation, and this can cause conflicts in our relationships. I'll talk more about this as I go on. So practically, this energy wants us to find a balance between meeting our own needs and desires and meeting the needs and desires of other people. Politically, this energy can sort of serve as a change agent, making leaders more assertive in matters of government, and they can take action to bring about positive change within their communities and nations that they're all right now. So this energy also negatively, of course, can just have politicians and those in power just doing things to look popular and make themselves look good rather than them actually taking the action. Is just all the so watch out for that. On the worldly, materialistic level, this full moon can bring an increase in our sense of financial abundance, or we can indeed see an income in our money or other assets as well. So we can also, we're not all going to get money. Some of us may just have an internal feeling. We can just feel in general more prosperous right now, just have a more optimistic outlook. So it's good for starting new ventures, making new sort of like investments as well, and mundane, general, social level. It's a great energy for celebrations, getting together. It's in the 12th degree of Leo, as I said, and the Sabian symbol for this degree is an evening lawn party, so a gathering, a barbecue, going out to a nightclub maybe, or doing anything else that's entertaining, celebrating good news, marriage for some of you, maybe career and stuff like that. It may just be good news, like, they've got your favourite chocolate bar or crisps. So it doesn't mean it's going to be meaningful on the bigger level, but it's definitely going to be meaningful for you. So getting together, having meaningful times with others, connecting with others on the sense of your own passions and theirs, and just being more creative and allowing your own and other people's light to shine brightly, which is the best use of this energy. Of course, Leo energy can make us want to dim other people's lights and seek external validation, but we can ask ourselves why do we need constant external validation? What was the first wound? What makes us feel that we have to put on a show and other people have to say we're good people, or they like our clothing or our status and stuff? Why do we need all of that in the first place? Why can't we get that sense from within? What has cut us off from our own inner validation? So ultimately, this energy allows us to tap into our creativity and express ourselves more authentically. The 12th degree of Leo also brings awareness to the vertebral column in our bodies, and this supports our body structure. So it just reminds us of the importance of maintaining proper alignment and balance within ourselves on the mind, body and soul, spirit, higher consciousness level. So it wants us to align ourselves with our innate spiritual, psychological and physical and emotional aspects of ourselves, and align with these so we can just have more strength and resilience in our day-to-day life, and also physically doing exercises what supports the health of our vertebral column, and just doing activities in our day-to-day life that just supports us in being the best individuals we can be, building that all-important inner strength and external resilience. So this full moon wants us to let go of anything that gets in the way of us authentically meeting our own needs and questioning the ways and releasing the ways we seek validation from things more than our own internal praise and evaluation of, our strengths and weaknesses, knowing that we should love ourselves unconditionally under all conditions, not in a narcissistic way, but in a way that promotes us healing and constantly refining our character so we can become the best person we can be, but also loving ourselves in that journey, not just focusing on the destination of, I need to be better, but loving yourself as you see yourself transform from that metaphorical sort of like caterpillar into that butterfly, So now I'm just going to talk about how our relationships and karma are affected, and the karmic meanings rather of the full moon in the 12th degree of Leo. So in terms of family relationships, it can increase the emotional bonding between us, but there can also be more drama and conflicts in our family relationships right now as well, so just watch out for that. It helps us to work with our friends and co-workers on innovative ideas, but also again can bring ego clashes and power struggles as well. In committed relationships, this issue is still going. It can lead to fiery arguments and issues related to personal expression, but on the positive, it can make us more passionate and more romantic as well. This goes the same for hookup relationships. We may have more desire, and we may be more spontaneous and have more intensely physical attractiveness to others and be attracted to others as well, but we can be more impulsive, and there can be an increase in short-term hookups, and people may think, because people can be more romantic and sweet and charming at this time, people may believe the lie. So just make sure believe in romance and stuff, but just make sure you're open to the fact that the truth may not be told, but don't shut down the experience. Just be aware of all possibilities, especially if it's a new sort of relationship as well. So in terms of karma related to our self-expression, creativity and seeking recognition and validation from others can come up, are the main focus of this full moon in Leo. So past lives where we may have been in leadership roles or decided not to be in leadership roles, where we fail to stand up for ourselves or help others, where we may have abused our position of power or seek too much power, and how we have been too egotistical and prideful, and how we can need to develop compassion for our shadow traits in general. So these past life recollections may come in dreams or experiences that may not be conscious, it be subconscious, but lessons around leadership and power and abusing them, and how we can be less egotistical or even allow ourselves to take that lead as well, and the reasons why we may not take that lead and go after the career, the relationship, the things that we want in our life as well. So in terms of career development, it can make us more confident, have more charisma. In terms of spiritual development, it can just allow us to be more wholehearted in going after what we want to go after at this time, making us more passionate and authentic in our self-expression as well. We can just feel empowered just to be more expressive. Educationally, it wants us to tap into our inner fire and seek knowledge with passion and enthusiasm. So going after the research and knowledge that, and doing the homework and stuff like that really we're passionate about. And this doesn't mean putting off the things that we may not like and need to be done, but this is just maybe just bringing more fun to your studies as well at this time. So in terms of the best things to do, creatives should use this energy to really just immerse themselves in their work right now and express their talents, and just starting those projects you may have put off, or maybe finishing, because it's a full moon release, so maybe letting go of projects as well and thinking about new projects that you can start. Maybe we must finish things, but maybe trying to finish certain things is blocking the new that you need as well. So just look into that. Professionals should use this energy to take bold risks and make changes in their career, but just make sure it's thought out risks, and you just don't do anything that you're not willing to face the consequences for. Entrepreneurs can use this energy to promote their business and make connections with clients or investors, or even other entrepreneurs affairs as well. Alternative healers should use this to, increase your knowledge on your healing practices and really focus on having transformative experiences with yourself and your clients over this time. And lovers, whether you're dating yourself or others, can use this energy just to communicate more openly and deepen their emotional and spiritual and psychological connections with others through having, really loving and heartfelt and deep and honest conversations and maybe romantic gestures from the heart and stuff like that as well. So now I'm just going to talk about the aspects that the sun and the moon are making at the time of this full moon in Leo. So the moon makes an opposition to Mercury, so this allows us to be more self-reflective and to gain clarity in our emotions and supports us in healthy communication. But again, it can heighten the misunderstandings that can happen, or the emotional, aggressive discussions that can come off if we don't handle people in this energy with care right now. Sun's conjunction to Mercury supports us being clearer in our expressions, so counteracting all the things that kind of cloud our judgment and ability to think clearly right now. It helps with our decision making as well, but it can just add to us being overly critical and arrogant as well. So we need to try and just be humble and respect other people's wishes, and as I said, question why we're seeking validation from others or external products and services, why we may sort of like resist being creative, because Leo's all about inner child and children as well, also about speculation and romance. So all wounds concerning these areas that may come up, and this energy just wants us to just be honest with ourselves about our self-expression and any attention-seeking behaviours. And normally when we seek attention, it's because we were neglected, either as children or in a relationship, or we feel like we've never been heard or we're not good enough. So just working with these base wounds with this energy, really going within, can really be good for you. And the moon trine Jupiter helps us be optimistic as we deal with our emotional trauma and suffering, not to laugh at it, but just to make it light, just to, sometimes we have to use humour, not to avoid our emotions, but just to make dealing with them a lot easier, because let's face it, it can be hard. So the moon's trine to Jupiter supports us in that, but can also make us more overindulgent and unrealistic in our expectations. So we just have to make sure we keep ourselves grounded in reality. And the moon's opposition to Saturn brings this energy of determination, patience and self-discipline and accountability, but negatively can add to us being pessimistic and cold and suppressing our emotions as well. So we have to use this energy to find a balance between our emotional needs and the obligations that we have to meet that may make us feel stuck right now. So just thinking about how we can bring more order in our life, or how we need to bring more spontaneous energy into our life, which the sun's conjunction to Saturn allows us to do as well. It allows us to set clear and realistic goals, also adds to that determination. So just a lot of aspects that are really supporting us being more spontaneous and creative and healing our inner child and listening to it as well. The moon's opposition to the midhaven again shows that there's going to be sort of tension between meeting the needs of our career and our needs of our heart and our relationships and stuff, but we have to do our best to find the balance between meeting the needs of our personal growth and professional success, as well as our relationships as well. We just have to try and be more effective in our time management, making the time for self-care and love and stuff, as well as our education and career advancement, as well as our personal healing as well. The sun also makes a conjunction with the midhaven as well, so again it just brings us that self-confidence and charisma, and just helps us work towards those long-term goals that we have, and just put ourselves out there as well and be more creative, because this is what Leo energy is all about. The full moon just wants us to release any blocks where we overuse our attention-seeking behaviours, or where we don't stand up for ourselves, or where we don't nurture our inner child or open ourselves up to romance and newness, or where we may take too much risk or may not take enough risk as well. So at the time of the full moon, there's also some ongoing aspects that support the energy of release as well, which I'm going to talk about, and the fixed star aspects that also supports the full moon energy that wants us to, release. So Mercury makes a conjunction to Saturn as well, so again it helps us to have organized thoughts. Mercury's semi-square to Chiron supports us in healing ourselves and understanding ourselves and others as well. Mercury semi-square to the North Node supports us in feeling connected to a higher purpose or believing in our highest potential and paying attention to intuitive messages that may come our way, which may be in dreams for some, or just something that someone else says or you hear can just trigger healing or creativity in you as well. Venus's conjunction to Mars also supports us being more passionate and assertive, motivated and going after what we really want, helping us to be more optimistic as well, along with Venus's square to Jupiter and Venus's square to Neptune as well. But on the negative end, Venus's semi-square to Neptune can make us idealistic in our thinking and numb ourselves to our reality. Neptune energy always makes us overindulge, can on the negative end make us either have the greatest spiritual awakening experiences or the lowest come downs of the intoxicating relationships or drugs or alcohol that we may partake in. So it's all about staying grounded and realistic, and also just trying to face emotional pain in healthy ways, because continuously running from them it takes so much from our lives. Mars' square to Jupiter supports us in resisting temptation and having the energy to heal and support ourselves as well. And Jupiter's sextile to Saturn also supports us in giving us the discipline in setting ambitious goals and realistic ones, and taking practical actions to make our dreams a reality, as well as supporting us to just be more grounded and aware and loving. Also, Jupiter's making a semi-square to Neptune, so although these are subtle energies, they can still make us have unrealistic expectations, and they just bring to our attention the importance of being grounded and using our judgment and doing our research before believing everything that we hear at this time as well, and just reminding us of the importance of being honest even if the truth does hurt or is going to hurt someone else. Saturn also makes a conjunction to the midheaven, so just supports us being more disciplined in our careers and educational goals, as well as our spiritual and personal development as well. It warns us against cutting corners and taking shortcuts, because this can just cause problems in the long run. In the short term you may get what you want, but in the long run you may lose what you've gained through taking shortcuts and lying to get what you want as well, so just watch out for that. This energy allows us and demands us to be more integrous in the things that we do and be more thorough. So rather than thinking about how quickly I can get this done, thinking how can I get this job done correctly. Chiron also makes a conjunction to the moon's north node, so this just supports us once again to deal with these deeper issues and to release the emotional baggage and toxic relationships and thought patterns that hold us back. Also at the time of this full moon in Leo, there's two stelliums. So stellium in astrology is when 3 or more planets are in the same sign, degree, orb, normally within 10 degrees orb or in the same house. So it's kind of like a focused cluster of energy. So with the Sun and Mercury and Saturn in Aquarius, it supports us, working on being more disciplined, becoming more effective in our intellectual and spiritual, scientific and other work that we do in our communication as well. The Sun represents our core essence and vitality, and Mercury controls our thoughts and communication style. So together they create a powerful energy of us being able to be more rational and innovative in our thinking and being able to express ourselves more effectively. This energy again supports us being more self-expressive, finding unique ways to communicate and bring attention to our talents in healthy ways, or the things that we want people to pay attention to in healthy ways. Saturn's energy once again supports us in being successful where we put in our energy. So if we put our energy to hate, that's what we get. If we put it to love and releasing things, then that's what we'll get back as well. Also the stellium between then Sun, Saturn and the midheaven supports us in becoming more responsible, although it can create tension again and make it really, really potent at this time. It allows us to find that balance between being creative and working with others as well. So between being selfish and meeting the needs of others. I don't want to say people pleasing, so that's the balance, finding the balance between meeting others' needs and your own. Yeah, that's the best way to put it. So yeah, finding that balance between your self-expression and your ego-driven motivations. Doing this will help you, avoid coming across as self-centered or arrogant. It's essential to prioritize the things that bring you internal validation at this time, such as continuing or starting the lifelong work of understanding, forgiving, accepting, healing and managing your psychological, emotional and spiritual wounds, as well as your physical health and financial health as well, and getting to the root causes of your self-destructive thoughts, behaviours and ways of relating to yourself and others, keeping in mind that true creativity and self-expression come from a place of authenticity and love and a genuine connection with yourself and others as well. So as I said, the moon's in the 12th degree of Leo, the sun is in the 12th degree of Aquarius at the time of this full moon, and the sun's in the 9th house, the moon's in the 12th house, Mercury's in the 8th house and Saturn's in the 9th house in the 16th degree of Aquarius. So I'm going to talk about what all of this means. So as I said, the moon in the 12th degree of Leo just wants us to become aware of any subconscious patterns or unresolved issues that may come up, and just to deal with them with more compassion and understanding within ourselves. The sun in the 12th degree of Aquarius, which is symbolised by people and stairs graduating upwards, wants us to commit to our lifelong growth and gives us the power to make that journey to ascend towards a higher level of consciousness and understanding of ourselves and others and the world. It's great for us just becoming more philosophical and forward thinking in our approach to life, and it can just make us really aware of the steps we need to take, the daily steps we need to take to reach our desired destination. And we have to find that balance between meeting our own needs and the needs of others, and just really questioning what needs of others can we really truly meet if we don't meet our own needs fully as well, not in a selfish way but in a healthy sort of self-care and awareness way. So ultimately, the sun being in the 12th degree of Aquarius reminds us to consider, yes, the big picture, but also the individual steps that we need to take to achieve our goals during this full moon and, over the course of a lifetime. Mercury is in the 8th degree of Aquarius in the 9th house. The Sabian symbol for this is a beautiful gowned wax figures. So this degree represents that our appearance may not reflect our true emotions or intentions, and also this can be true of other people as well at the time of this full moon. So this energy asks us to sort of like pay attention to body language and the subtle cues in what may not be said or what is said, what is meant in between the lines, and not in a conspiracy theory way, but just to sort of be aware that something that's been masked or hidden in some way may be revealed at this time, and or knowledge of the way that people speak, it may not be the full truth, or we may have to dig deeper for meaning, or we may take what they say the wrong way unintentionally as well. So we just have to be aware of the potential to distort and to seek clarity in our communication. So just ask questions, don't assume anything, don't lie, check facts as well, not being judgmental or accusatory like you're lying, this ain't the truth, but just keep an open mind and just ask the right questions rather than assume, as I said. And Saturn's in the 16th degree of Aquarius in the 9th house, so this again supports us in staying grounded and committing to our path and ensuring that we take the necessary steps towards success as we move through life. So there's some fixed star aspects as well. So the moon is making an opposition to the Neb Adjets, so this can bring a clash between our will, and shows us again that people can be moody and there can be strong temperaments and opinions at this time as well. And the full moon can always be a challenging time, it's documented. So again, this energy really amplifies the need to ask questions and to walk away away from toxic situations. The moon makes a semi-square to the fifth star Castor, so this again helps us with our creative work as well. The sun's conjunction to the Neb adage also allows us to focus on our personal identity, but again warns us against, strong wills and tempers, and the fact that our needs may clash with others at this time, so just to be gentle and to navigate the situations with understanding and compassion, and to go within and resolve the power conflicts within yourself. And as we do this, the conflicts we have with others in life in general can get less and less. The sun makes a sextiquadrate to the fifth star Castor, so again it just supports us again in just being creative, and Mercury semi-sextile to Anatar allows us to be bold in our communication expression and our intellectual career and educational work, supporting us in taking risks and thinking outside the box. But Mercury square to the fifth star Merfat can add complexity to communication, so as I said, it's best to confront difficult conversations head on rather than running away, and just being open that people may express views that you may not like, or you may express views others may not like, and you have to try and find resolution and compromise, or at least agree to disagree. Mercury semi-square to Rakbat also brings a more grounded energy, so just helping us to deal with these intense emotions and conflicting opinions as well. And Saturn sextiquadrate to Arcticus allows us to just have more emotional maturity and more self-control, especially in the face of challenging circumstances right now. And Saturn's quinquatus to Diadem helps us to be aware that we may have to sacrifice some things for the greater good at this time as well, and reminds us that sometimes personal desires must be set aside to fulfill a higher purpose, but also the importance of looking after our own needs but letting other people to shine as well as letting ourselves shine, as I said, rather than blocking other people's light or hogging their light, And Saturn's quinquatus to the fifth star Hyena supports us in finding our sense of purpose in life, and to contribute to something greater than ourselves, and healing ourselves as well as being more creative. Also supports us in reminding us that bringing something new into the world is not always easy or painful. So in terms of you becoming a new you, or a healed you, a balanced you, where you don't let your past rob you of your future, will take your dedication and perseverance, but with being motivated and getting back up after each failure, you can achieve great things as well. And Saturn's sextile to the fifth star Thesis allows us to examine our actions and behaviours, and question whether we have been ruthless in pursuing our goals, or where we have allowed other people to walk over us, and the areas we have stopped ourselves from going after our true goals. Saturn sextile to Thesis just wants us to question and think of the consequences of both approaches of ruthlessly going after what you want, or playing the victim, or allowing yourself to be a victim as well. And it's not about victim blaming or anything like that, but it comes a time when we have to realise that if people keep on doing things, when people show us who they are, we have to believe them. We can see their good and potential, but if all they do is hurt us and get in the way of us loving ourselves and being our best selves, then really is their presence healthy in our lives, So this energy, along with Saturn square to Antares, supports us in overcoming our obstacles and finding that balance between our work and having a successful personal life and relationships with others as well. But we just have to watch out for becoming overly obsessive and jealous and consumed with going after our career goals and money and status, and neglecting our personal well-being in our relationships as well. And Saturn square to Aldebaran reminds us to stay true to our values and principles as we go after our goals, and to try and build a kind of integrity integrity. And I don't like moral compass. I do believe morals are good, but the change between, we've all got different senses of this, but there's certain things that all of us as humans can agree on. So this energy just wants us to be more honest in the way we go about life. And Saturn says this quadrant to Spicer allows us to dream, reminding us that success is in our reach, but we need to find balance, a balanced approach in getting there, and align our inner wisdom and our external actions with our authentic purpose, and the importance of finding a balance between integrity and self-awareness, and allowing ourselves to channel our authentic selves and stay grounded in our own values. So in conclusion, this moon just supports us in stepping into the spotlight, or healing our psychological, emotional, spiritual wounds, and allowing ourselves not to be stunted by our past experiences, and allowing ourselves to be open to healing and releasing ourselves, because the full moon's all about release of any blocks to our creativity, expressing our inner child, using our intuition, using artistic expression to heal ourselves and understand ourselves, and wounds that we've got connected to romance, and allowing ourselves to be loved, and the defences we may have over opening up ourselves to self-love and healing. And it reminds us that as we go on with our releasing and lifelong learning journeys, that success does not come overnight, but success comes to us through consistent effort and dedication, allowing ourselves to get back up after each time we fall, and we will always fall in life. So yeah, that's the end of this analysis of the full moon in Leo, February the 24th, 2024. Take care and see you next time.